Are you an entrepreneur and you're like, yeah, you just feel like, all the pieces are there, but you can't quite see the picture of the jigsaw or put it together? That could be down to your personal performance habits. We often overlook these, like give me the script, give me the ad campaign, give me the whatever. Well, listen, a tactic is only as good and as effective as the person that's applying them, right? Everywhere you go, there you are. So if you'd like some suggestions on how you can increase your personal performance so that you can see better results reflected in your business, then you're definitely in the right place for this training. I'm going to open up the laptop, share my screen. We're going to dive straight in. But before I do that, if at any point in time you're enjoying this training, you're like, I'd like more from this guy, you're a coach, you're a course creator or provider, I went somewhere in between, or an agency owner, then you're welcome to join my free Facebook group, which you'll see the link up there, or you'll see it in the description beneath it. Anyway, we got some work to do, so let me open up the laptop, share the screen, and let's dive in. So there's a quote that I really enjoy, and that is, we are not the highest version of ourselves we can imagine. We are the lowest version of ourselves that we will tolerate. Think about that. Tolerance. That's what's going to decide how well you perform or how large your cinder block is. Not what you want to get out of life, not what you hope you can become. Yes, it's nice to do those exercises. Think about positivity. I love doing that. But at the end of the day, to be realistic with you, you're going to slip right back down to the lowest standards you'll tolerate. So what have we got to do if we understand that? We've got to ask ourselves, well, what standards are you setting in the areas of your life, in the areas of your business? What are your standards? If I was to break out a video camera and film you for the next 7 days and the work that you did and everything you did that influenced you as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, what would that say about you? What would you feel like watching it? What is your standards in terms of social media? I always talk about this a lot, and that is character. I know you can't read that, that's why I'm saying it. Versus reputation. I'll just put rep. Why do I highlight this? Well, a lot of people's standards are very low with social media. What do I mean by low? Well, if you go and look at the digital balance on your actual phone, it's under settings, and I think on Android and on Apple, it will tell you how long you are spending on social media on your phone. You'll be able to see how many hours per day that you're actually spending, and you'll be able to see what those go in, like, Facebook or whatever, right? TikTok for a lot of you. You'll see where you're wasting your time. Is this, I'll ask you, is this the standard that you want to get the results that you say you do as an entrepreneur? I want to be a successful entrepreneur. I want to build this business. I want to do this. Yeah, but you're spending 3 hours a day scrolling through your Facebook newsfeed. Do you think anyone with the results that you're after does that? I'm telling you now that they don't. I don't have any social media on my phone. I literally have Messenger because that's what I use to communicate with clients. Other than that, there's nothing I can scroll on my phone at all. No Facebook, no Instagram, LinkedIn, nothing. And yet I build a really successful business, multiple businesses. Why? Well, I think that's a large part of it. I can focus. I've grabbed back hours and hours of time. What could you do with 3 hours a day extra focused in the areas of your life? So this one area to have a standard on. Character versus reputation. Character is what you think of you. Reputation is what others think of you, or what you believe others will think of you. This is why most people are on social media. Insecurity. What's so-and-so up to? Am I doing better? Am I doing worse? What should I be doing? Let me put more effort into looking happy than actually doing the work that makes me happy. Looking successful as opposed to being successful as an entrepreneur. Well, you know what? You're celebrated in public for the work you do in private. So if you were to focus on what you think is good for you and what's in alignment with your values as an entrepreneur, as a human being, guess what? Your reputation would take care of itself, as opposed to working and trying so damn hard in this area and sacrificing this. That is not a good exchange. The end of the life is going to be a whole bunch of entrepreneurs who've got a whole bunch of followers, and nothing else. No substance, no real business, no real progress. Do you want to impress others or do things and live a life that's truly impressive to you? That's one place to have a standard. Where else should we have standards? Time management, right? Time management. Listen, how you allocate your time is going to be exactly the results that you get. Think about it. You want to learn a language today. What are you going to have to do? You're going to have to put the time in. You're going to have to make space for that, to focus on that. Same as a business, as an entrepreneur. You want to make more money? You want to get more clients? Well, you're going to have to find some time to do the activities that make that a reality. So here's a piece of advice for you. Always plan tomorrow, today. So this is today. This is tomorrow. I'll just put Tom. You should have either a paper diary or some kind of calendar, or I use a Google Drive calendar, something where you can go in there and say, okay, tomorrow, these are the times, all the way down, and what are you going to do on the hour? Now you can shade this out. You can put in there family time. I encourage you to do that. This is where when you see family time, that means no phones, that means no distractions. 9 a.m., you may be like, okay, I'm going to, I don't know, I'm going to create a YouTube video. Whatever, right? You know the methods that you use to build your business, to be an successful entrepreneur. You should know. If you can't tell me right now, if I was able to see through this screen and say, okay, walk me through your next 24 hours, and you can't do that accurately, you don't deserve to be successful because you're too wasteful with your time. I said these things to myself. I was like, Richard, man, you're not putting your time in the right areas. It was about 10 years ago. I'm like, no wonder you don't have the results you want. When I change this, massive, massive, massive improvement in results. So think about where you're putting your time and whether that's, again, that standard that you've settled down at, does that need to be raised? Do we need to actually start looking at least as a bare minimum, planning tomorrow, today, so we can be active as opposed to reactive? One more thing I'll give you, which is useful. And then I'm going to cover one more aspect of performance, and then we'll leave it there, is actually looking at weekly meetings. It's usually Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. That's usually the last work day for most people. Never work 7 days. It doesn't work. You need a day of rest. So either last thing Friday after you finish work for the weekend, or if you want to, Saturday morning, whatever. That's when we're going to actually look at the last 7 days. What worked, what didn't, and what are we going to do based off of what worked and what didn't. That simple process of doing that once a week at the end of the week, you can then take these items, these ones here, what we're going to do about it, and we can put them in our calendar. I do this every 7 days. What worked? This worked, this worked, this worked, this worked. Okay, so can I scale that in any way? What didn't work? This and this. So do I want to remove them, or do I want to make an adjustment and go again? Okay, based off of these, what action steps do I need to take next week to move my business forward? I want to, number one, I want to scale that particular ad campaign. Number two, I want to make 2 more videos that were like the one that went really well. I want to stop doing whatever it may be, right? I came to the conclusion where I stopped prospecting. I stopped posting on social. It was losing me more than I was gaining. So that was on my list at one point in time, right? So we can now take these and put them in our diary, and guess what? You start making adjustments upward adjustments, which most entrepreneurs don't know about. I don't know where my business comes from. I don't know what works, what doesn't. Well, we need to know to keep on climbing that ladder to whatever the top is for you. Okay, so I've given you quite a lot there. I've got loads and loads and loads. I have a program which I don't know if you're ready for that or not. I don't serve everybody. I only look for a particular type of client. But I do a lot of this in the first module of a program that's actually more about advertising and marketing. But this is a big part of it, getting people into high performance. So if you've got any interest in that, request to join my Facebook group, and then that link's in the eye above here or the description beneath it. And then when you join, I'll reach out to you personally. You can ask me about it then if you like. Or if you have any questions to build your business, more than happy to help you. I specifically work with coaches, consultants, course creators, agency owners. They're all very similar types of business. They're providing transformation through a service or education. So very, very similar businesses. That's who I work with and what I've got a lot of success in. So I said I was going to do one final thing with you, and I will. This is probably a secret almost, hiding in plain sight. Most people, what do they do with basics? They overlook them. That's what most people do with basics. Easy to do, easy not to do. So things like, bear with me, things like sleep, things like stress, things like your nutrition, Things like the environment that you put yourself in. I'm going to break that down in a second. And then also your health, which is mental and physical. So look at these on here. Yeah, Richard, heard this before. Okay, cool. Didn't realize you knew everything. So let's just break it down, though. I used to be that guy. I can joke because I used to be that guy. Get more sleep. Come on. Give me the script. Give me the ad campaign. Give me the... I'm like, yeah, but Richard, how good are you going to perform on creating videos or sales calls or creativity if you keep on shaving, 3 hours of sleep off what it should be? Like by the end of even just 7 days, you try shaving 3 hours off your sleep for 7 days. Well, don't, because it's awful. And in 7 days' time, you feel like this. Your eyes are heavy. This would be you. Not happy. Not happy at all. Sleep deprivation is a type of torture. So why do we torture ourselves? Yeah, but I want to see what else is on Netflix. Oh, come on. There's always more shows on there, man. Do you want to be a successful entrepreneur or a professional film reviewer? If your business is reviewing films, go for it. But if it isn't, you've got no business being on there for that amount of time. I'm not saying don't enjoy yourself, but come on. Have a bedtime. Have a wake time. Make sure you're getting your 7 or 8 hours, whatever you need. Okay? Because otherwise, this is a good 10 to 20% reduction in everything you're going to do if you're lacking sleep. It really is. Stress. How are you managing your stress? If you get angry, you should manage that, because again, if you're coming to decisions and straight away you find a bit of difficulty in your business and you're like, whoa, up here in the anger and the stress, you're far away from being back down here. It takes you ages to sort of circle back, and finally start to solve. Whereas I've learned over the years that, hey, if I see a problem, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to learn something, to grow, to solve something. It's easier said than done, I know. But with practice, you can have that mindset too. So as soon as I reach a problem, okay, let me build a solution and then let's carry on. As opposed to what I used to do, which is, life's not fair, business isn't fair, why me, blah, blah, blah. Nutrition. I suppose this is linked to health. Like, would you put someone selling fuel at the side of the road? You just put a high performance, I'm going to attempt to draw what would be a high performance car. Oh, look at that. That's a beauty. That's a beauty. Maybe it's secondhand. I don't know. It's fast. It's high performance. Just bear with me, okay? Would you fuel this car with the cheapest, crappiest fuel available? Would you okay, this fuel's got sludge in it. It's not been filtered. It's not got any additives in it. But I'm going to stick it in my car, right? You wouldn't do that. Or if it's an electric car, would you just plug it in and not know if it was the right voltage or whatever? No. Because you know that whatever you feed this vehicle with, this machine with, is going to have a massive impact on how it performs. Yet you'll stuff anything in your mouth. You'll stuff anything in your mouth. You won't drink enough water. Again, poor nutrition. When I go on a vacation or holiday for my fellow Europeans, we go on a holiday, right? I'm a pretty fit guy. I like to work out. I like to watch what I eat. But when we go on vacation, I'll usually slacken off a little bit. You know what I mean? I'll eat desserts. Especially if I'm on a cruise or something, right? I'm eating more. And don't get me wrong, I like my food. But by the end of sort of 5, 6, 7 days, clothes are getting a bit tighter. I'm feeling a bit self-conscious. And not just even the physical side of it. Like, I can feel just like, my stomach doesn't feel right. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, just don't feel right. Like what it's like if you don't eat the right foods. Give it a few days and you're just not performing. Well, again, if you want to perform high performance as an entrepreneur, feed you the most important machine there is with the right nutrients. Learn about that stuff. The environment that you're in. What are you putting in your eyes and ears? These are eyes. Ears, what do we think? Can I draw an ear? Let's give it an earring to make it a bit more... That looks more... I've got cauliflower ear in one of my ears from grappling days. That looks more like my dodgy ear. Anyway, it's an ear. What are you putting in your eyes and ears? The video content you watch, social media again, right? TV, news, which if you watch it, I don't know why you even bother. Like all these things go in. The people you hang around with, TV, the music you listen to, the books you do or don't read, right? What are you feeding your brain with? Because you know what your brain does? It tries to adapt to the environment that you place it in. That's why we are king of the hill in this planet. because of our ability to adapt. Our intelligence allows us to adapt better than anything else. That bear's stronger than me. Let me go and create a weapon. Do you see any other animals using weapons? I don't know if any other animals use weapons other than ones that we're very similar to, chimpanzees, apes maybe. But everything else, its weapons are inbuilt, but it can never improve on that. We can with our intelligence. You put us in the water, we learn how to swim and float. You put us in any environment and we learn to adapt. And this is what your brain's always trying to do. Let me fit in with the environment so I can survive. So if you're feeding yourself negative people, news, death, destruction, crime, the world's a terrible place, offensive, angry, hostile music, not reading any books, not educating yourself, you're like, I want to be a successful entrepreneur. Really? Because your habits tell me you don't. You want to be an angry, short-sighted, closed-minded, negative person, which that nobody becomes successful like that. Okay? And then the last one, your mental and physical health. I don't know what your health and well-being is. You look after it. You get one body, you get one brain. Look after them. They're precious. So if you're having issues mentally, go see someone, see a professional. If it's not got that far yet, well, learn to relax. Invest in yourself. I have a health club membership, right? It's a membership for myself. I've also, my daughter, she's 11 years old. She has a health club membership too. I got to remember why, because I said, look, there's certain things, Ava, that are non-negotiable. I said, you can choose what you want to do in many areas of your life, but there's certain things are non-negotiable. And learning to look after yourself and value yourself as a human being and the body that you've got is something that I don't see as non-negotiable. So we're going to go to the gym together for a year. And if you hate it after a year, I'll never ask you again. I know after a year, she'll be in the habit and she won't be able to stop looking after herself. And I also know that will keep her mental health well. It also means when she goes through a difficult age and the temptations are there, hopefully, just like it did with me, it steers me away from that. We can't guarantee these things. We do our best for our kids, right? But it's the same with you. Health, looking after your health is a welcome distraction and use of your time from a lot of other things, physically and mentally. Put yourself first, because if you've not got your health, what do you have? Okay. So lesson over. Was that useful? We went for 17, 18 minutes here. Hopefully that was useful. Hopefully that was beneficial to you. If it was, give me a like, and I know to make more like this in the future. And if you are a entrepreneur, specifically in education, service business, so, coach, consultant, course creator, agency owner, you're welcome to join my group. You'll see the little I in the top corner. You can click that on the screen, or if you scroll down a little, it's in the description area of the text. When you request to join, I will welcome you in personally. Give me a day or two max. And at that point, if you have any individual questions that you need help with, or you want to make a comment, you're able to do that. Of course, you can comment underneath this video if it's not private. Okay, so as I always say, go create a day in a life that counts. Always have more desires and excuses. If you like my training, I look forward to seeing you over in my Facebook group and serving you with a whole bunch more content and valuable information there. If you're a subscriber, I'll see you on the next one. Have a fantastic day, and bye for now.